Welcome to another video. In this one I will show you how to keep the top row in Excel from moving when you scroll. So you can scroll a whole worksheet in Excel, but the top row stays frozen. You can keep the top row visible while scrolling, and you could call it pinning. You pin the top row or freeze the top row. It's actually called freeze panes, and you can freeze the top row very easily with few clicks. So let's check it. Okay, we have the Excel on the desktop here, and let's open it and see what's inside this file. I just made some test file, and we have ID, name, address 1, 2, day, year, month, name, and address 5, just some names I could come up with. And if I make it a little bit bigger so you see it better, let's make it really big. You see it went, I already see the column B here, but actually there is the column A that I was missing. So if I go to the right too much, then I don't see on the left the first column. And also if I go below, then I don't see much of anything. I see it starts at C and 11, row 11, and then C the column. So for this to go to the home, I press Control Home. Control Home will take me to the first cell, A1. Here the column is A and the row is 1. Okay, so the trick here to do is to pin the top row while scrolling. Keep the top row visible while scrolling. And to do this is very easy, but you can also use this with the first column. So column A could be like that and top row. So let's do it with top row. Okay, so to be able to freeze the top row and keep the top row visible, pin it on the Excel while scrolling. I actually don't need to click anywhere I don't need to select the row or anything like this. All you have to do is go to the View tab here. So from the home here you go to View. And then on the Freeze Panes menu, you have Freeze Panes, Freeze Top Row, Freeze First Column. So Freeze Top Row will freeze the top row, as you see this fine line here. And then when I scroll, you see the names, the headers of these columns, names, they are still there. So it's much easier to read the Excel. You have to watch out for times when you see 1 and then it jumps to 86. You have to make sure it's always to scroll to the beginning. So you can always press Control Home just to be sure when you open it that you are on the first row. It might be tricky like this. That's just a little bit of a tip. And if you want to freeze the first column instead of the first row, I go here. Also, yeah, you can unfreeze the panes. So when I press unfreeze panes, it goes back to normal. And if I want to freeze the top row, the top column here, if I want to freeze the top column, I don't have to click anywhere else. In the view, the same place, freeze panes, freeze first column. And now I can scroll and the top column headers are gone. But when I scroll to the right, when I go into these cells and I click on the right, you see the first column on the left, it's always there. It doesn't move away. And this is another way to do it. And I will unfreeze panes now just to quickly show you another thing. So I will go now to different addresses in the Excel, and usually what you might want to do is, if you have an ID here like this one and you have column headers, you might want to click on this first column here, on the first value that you want to move around. So you will have this fixed pinned and the top row pinned. So these two are pinned, and then the first one is this value. I click here, and in the View menu, in the View tab, I click Freeze Panes and then Freeze Panes. And this will lock the top and the left. as you see, the top and the left. So this first column and the first row, they are pinned. I can scroll to lower side and left side, and they are always there. This is very useful for when you work with Excel, to be able to quickly see the ID of the columns you're looking at. That's it, it's really easy. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and let me know in the comment section below which things you prefer to do in Excel, which formulas you like to use more, and also what you like to learn more about Excel in general. Thanks for watching. Have a playlist for Excel tips and tricks. Excel tips and tricks and tips.